Honorable sisters and brothers, the Divine Miracle Proof this God's Day Sunday religious weekend is Divine Miracle Proof number 16. Jesus raises Jairus' daughter. I quote the eyewitness account per the Gospel of Luke, who was a physician, New Testament chapter 8 verses 40 to 56. And as Jesus returned, the multitude welcomed him, for they were waiting for him. And behold, there came a man named Jairus, and he was ruler of the synagogue. And he fell down at Jesus' feet and besought him to come to his home, for he had a daughter about 12 years of age, and she was dying. But as Jesus went, the multitude thronged him. And a woman having an issue of blood 12 years, who had spent all of her living upon physicians and could not be healed of any, came behind him and touched the border of his garment. And immediately the issue of her blood stopped. And Jesus said, "Who is it that touched me?" And when all denied, Peter said, and they that were with him, "Master, the multitudes press and crush thee." But Jesus said, "Someone did touch me, for I perceived that power had gone forth from me." And when the woman saw that she was not hid, she came trembling and falling before him, declared in the presence of all the people for what cause she touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And Jesus said unto her, "Daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace." While he yet spake, there cometh one from the ruler of the synagogue's house, saying, "Thy daughter is dead, trouble not the teacher." But Jesus, hearing it, answered him, "Fear not, only believe, and she shall be made whole." And when Jesus came to the house, he suffered not any man to enter in with him, save Peter and John and James and the father of the maiden and her mother. And all were weeping and bewailing her. But he said, "Weep not, for she is not dead, but sleepeth." And they laughed at him to scorn. But he, taking her by the hand, called, saying, "Maiden, arise." And her spirit returned, and she rose up immediately, and Jesus commanded that something be given to her to eat. And her parents were amazed, but Jesus charged them to tell no man for what had been done. Now, the eyewitness account is self-explanatory. This preacher humbly suggests that you realize these important issues. 1. Jairus, a ruler of the synagogue, whose fellow leaders fear, despise, and are trying to do away with Jesus, became a believer in the divinity of Jesus Christ. 2. I mentioned in emphasis Jesus Christ's 40 divine miracle proofs. Realize the eyewitnesses are reporting only the main miracles of most important issue, especially healing, cleansing, etc. on the Sabbath, because the rulers of the synagogue had laws that only they could allow to do anything on the Sabbath, and that incurred a fee and or a purchase, example, 2 doves, and then they would forgive their sins. Jesus tells us, "Fear not, only believe, and you, shall be made whole. And weep not, for she, loved one, is not dead, but sleepeth." Therefore, establishing that we have our natural life and an eternal spiritual life if we believe and obtain salvation. This is Preacher Doc, who mentions, don't think I'm trying to command you to be a believer. I present God and Jesus Christ proofs. Up to you to believe in God and Jesus Christ. I have what I have to do to save my own soul. I believe I have this expertise. I suggest, and it's up to you to believe in God and Jesus Christ and save your soul. Then, now I mentioned that we have the service in which we repeat what Jesus Christ did. We say 3 prayers. We say the Apostles' Creed, I believe in God. And then we hail Mary, the mother of Jesus, Hail Mary. Then we say the prayer of contrition, Lord, if I have sinned, I repent. Then we repeat what Jesus Christ said. He blessed bread, we bless bread. And Jesus said, "This is my body." What did he mean? His physical presence here, and he rose body and soul into paradise. And then he took red wine, well, it's symbolic of the red blood in your system that gives, sustains life. in you, and he says, this is my blood. What do you mean by that? In paradise, you will have your life sustained by the eternal Spirit. You will have the eternal Spirit sustain your life just like God and Jesus Christ, divine being in paradise with God and Jesus Christ and all of those who have been saved. Then he said, this is the new covenant. Now he commands the new law. You must believe in God and Jesus Christ's divinity. Then he said, drink this in memory of me. What did he mean in memory? In belief of God and Jesus Christ's divinity. Now, just before we commune with God and Jesus Christ, we each silently say a humble prayer to make sure we are worthy to commune with God and Jesus Christ. I say the prayer using positive words of the theme of the centurion. Lord, I pray I am worthy. Then I believe and drink in the memory and belief of God and Jesus Christ. Then after communion, we say a silent prayer for family, relatives, and friends. Then with a choir, you could sing the tremendous Ave Maria. Hymn is considered the highest form of prayer. Or we can sing a hymn. I say the Lord's Prayer, which has been set to music, and I sing the last stanza. For thine is the paradise, and the power, and the glory forever. Then I mentioned that I suggest you see my midweek happy hour, and I explain why I call it the happy hour. And with that, I say, of course, to all believers, thank you, and God bless.